So tell me a little bit about your wedding and when you were first married.
Well, we were married in August of 49 years ago. At any rate, and so at the time I was still driving a sightseeing bus for Gray Line in Salt Lake City, and it happened that one of the places I drove people was up here to Big Cottonwood Canyon. So this is one of the places where we'd have where the day tour would come, and we'd bring people up here and have lunch up here, and then drive back down. And so, here, when they learned that I was going to be married, they offered for Millie and I to stay in the little cabins that they have up here. You know, the little motel at the end of the driveway up here. And so that was where we had our first night. Um, and Then the night after we were married, we actually had our wedding reception, and so wedding reception was at Millie's uncle's, Bert, and his wife's house, and it was actually the first wedding reception I'd ever been to. To be honest, I'd never been to one before. Knew very little about the protocol or anything, but Millie's family arranged it all, and went very nicely. And at any rate. It was a beautiful, actually, just a beautiful backyard setting, and it was a little magical, you know, little colored lights, and all of our friends stopping in to wish us well, and so friends that I knew from driving sightseeing bus and from BYU and on the mission, and Millie's friends that she had known over all the years, and so it was a lovely evening, and I learned about wedding receptions. And that night, we actually went to Motel 6 down the street from the temple, as I recall, but it's in Salt Lake City, downtown Salt Lake City. And they again offered us the night free because I had used to pick up people for the tours at the motel there. And so, so at any rate, that got us started, and we then it was August and time for school to start again, and so your mom had a job teaching up in Eureka, and so that's her first year we were married. She was teaching school in Eureka, and I was in my junior year, I think, at BYU, and so that's how we. So we got a house. It was apartment, actually. It was with the Pardo family, and they were longtime residents of BYU, and they were actually, in fact, they were the Pardos, you know, the Pardo Theater.
But it's not anything like that, you know.
And so, at any rate, we got a room, apartment above their house that had to go up outside stairs to get to. But it was a nice little apartment, and we lived there for, I guess it must have been for the better part of 2 years, because Denise was born while we were living there, and we stayed there for probably another year after she was born, because I remember she was walking when I graduated from with my bachelor's degree. Denise was walking by that time, and so we were still living in that house at that time.